Hi guys, and welcome back to The Learning Gardener. If it's your first time here, my name is Pip, and today we are going to be doing a whole garden harvest. There is finally, a stray blackberry, a whole bunch of things that are ready all at the same time, which means instead of just harvesting one thing at a time, that we're going to go for everything today. We're going for broke, and we're going to do it the berries first because I don't know if these are like strawberries, and they really need to be harvested either early in the morning or late in the evening so they don't go squishy, because the juices in the berry then warm up. But we're doing the berries first, so we've got thornless blackberries here. This is my first ever time growing blackberries, and you can see some of them. I haven't got as far as doing all of them. I have actually bagged up to protect them from the local birds. Thankfully, as yet, the local birds haven't actually noticed them, and I think it's because of the cicadas. I think the local birds are busy eating the cicadas, and as you can hear, it is quite the year for cicadas, and the fact that they're this noisy this early means that it is going to be a very, very loud day. Some days I haven't even been able to have a conversation in the backyard. There are definitely some berries that need to be bagged. They're quite low hanging and they're not quite ripe. They're almost there. But it does look like potentially someone has discovered their whereabouts and is doing little nib taste tests. So I really need to get out here this afternoon and bag the rest of the berries, because this is a great solution, and I don't want to lose any berries if at all possible. These I just bought on Temu. I originally bought them for my tomatoes because we tend to get a lot of caterpillars in the tomatoes and fruit fly. So I haven't actually bagged up the tomatoes yet either. So we need to do that. But I mean, these are just amazing. I'm so stoked. It's my first year harvesting blackberries. The thing I like about the blackberries is they almost sort of like stagger crop themselves, so they don't all come ripe, thankfully, all at the same time. I would imagine would be a nightmare with the local birds, and you'd just be covered in blackberry juice. But it's interesting, you know, blackberries, they can look really ripe, but they're actually not, so you've got to look quite closely and only pick the very, very dark ones, because then they have a bit more of a twang to them if you pick them early. And unfortunately, a couple of red ones have come off at the same time, but I think I'm going to have ample berries. I was really happy with my strawberries and blueberries this year. You know, one of the blueberry trees still has some blueberries on it, but looks like it's dying, so we'll go there in a minute and harvest those blueberries. But I'm kind of sick of blueberries and strawberries, so there's something to be said for eating what's in season when it's in season. So we managed to get a huge bowl of beautiful blackberries, and it looks like there's going to be more ready in the next couple of days. So that's really exciting. I'm going to actually take these inside so that they don't get pilfered while we're out here. And also, it's just so hot out here already. I'm struggling, but I don't want the berries to get damaged by being off the vine and in the heat. But more than anything, I just don't want them to get stolen after all of that. But they look absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to tuck into these when we're done here. Carter has ended up in one of the blueberry enclosures with me, so if I get hit in the face by something, or if we catch and release something, that's what it is. But oh god, it is so foul out here now, so I'm just gonna quickly pick what I can of whatever is left of the blueberries and the strawberries. You can see hopefully that this one behind me has all of a sudden started going brown and crispy, and I don't know why, because the soil is fine, it's nice and moist. The only thing I can think of is that the roots have started to penetrate to the soil that is much more alkaline, even though I put heaps of soil acidifier in. Maybe it's not enough and this guy's miserable. But the other two look totally happy and healthy. So go figure, maybe we're just about to lose one in this bed like we lost one in the other bed. Sad, but these things happen. Have strawberry runners going absolutely everywhere, so I need to get out here at some point and deal with this, but not this morning, because this morning is about getting in and out of this heat. It is such an unpleasant time of year to be in the garden, but we want to make the most of the harvests and find whatever berries there are to find. But what I cannot believe is how much these have grown. Just a couple of months ago, this area was looking pathetic, and yeah, nature has come through for the win again, but I don't want my entire backyard to turn into a strawberry field, so I'm going to have to deal with this at some point, just not right now. Oh my god, it's so hot. Okay, found the cicada. I scared him off a strawberry, and he needs to get out and live his best life. His best life is not very long. Come on, darling. It's alright, you can let go. So we have a little cicada. Hopefully you guys can see him. He's absolutely gorgeous. Kind of red. But it's time for him to go and live his best life. Off he goes. And because we've got this new arbor here, it is a little bit harder to get in round the side here. So we've got some scallop squash. One is totally disgusting and rotting and moldy, and that's rather odd. So I'm not going to deal with that one until I have gloves, and I don't have gloves for right now. So just going to get one and get out of here. There's also a little apple cucumber just here. Normally cucumbers in our area, they just get covered in powdery mildew and they don't do well, which is why I mass planted them on this trellis. But they're doing so well that there were a whole bunch of cucumbers that kind of snuck up on me. And if you've ever grown cucumbers before, I know there's another one in here, there it is. You have to pick them regularly, number one, so they keep producing, and number two, so they don't die back, because once they feel like they've kind of achieved seed, they will actually die back. Here's another one. And so I've been out here picking cucumbers now for a couple of days, and we've already eaten about 5 from these 4 plants, and now we've got at least 4 more. So I'm going to have a little dig through here, and I can see a really beautiful ladybug larvae walking down a vine, which is incredible to see. So many ladybugs in the garden this year, both the good and the bad ones. But it's really nice to finally have fresh cukes again. But I do need to wear long sleeves for this because cucumbers drive my skin crazy. Squeeze in. Reverse. I can't even get through. Okay, so we have got peppers all over the floor. This area is just going bananas. So we have, that one needs to come off because it's busted. We have, these are a sweet yellow pepper, and some of them have actually finally started to turn yellow, and they're gorgeous. I have had a mixed bag with these peppers. So I ate some early on and they were beautiful and sweet, and then I ate some at the exact same stage and they like burnt my face off. That being said, I'm not great with spice. We've got a rogue cucumber vine, or it looks kind of like a butternut pumpkin. I think we maybe should relocate this one somewhere else. I had a few squash plants this year that were store-bought seeds that said they were zucchinis and turned out to be pumpkins, so you know, wouldn't be the first time. But I'm debating whether I will actually just harvest a whole bunch of these because they're out of control and there are so many of them. Oh my god, there's a red one. It's gone so yellow, it's gone red. Oh, can I reach it? I wonder if it's still sweet or if this is going to melt my head off. Well, we've got, I think I might pluck some because they're yellow enough, but there's a ton on them here, like a ton. I'm really excited because normally I have a lot of trouble with capsicum. I'll show you guys some, wasp, go away, traditional capsicum plants in a minute. And what they do here, and I try and keep their ground full of water, but what they do is they get sunburnt and they just rot and die. It's so depressing. But these guys, happy as clams. And these are first year plants. I have found that the capsicums that survived from last year and managed to overwinter are actually doing better than the capsicums, traditional sweet peppers that have been planted this year, except for these guys. This is amazing. We are going to bounce around bed to bed with no particular order, simply because I need to give the camera some time in the shade. And oh my god, we have a red one. Not only is it full of water, but its seed internal part has just, I don't know where it is. So, I mean, this is best case scenario for a sweet pepper. They tend to be tiny, but they tend to just burn. So I'm just going to pluck these ones while they're there to be harvested before they turn to the dark side, because what I have learned is they will turn to the dark side. And at least if I harvest them when they're young, at least I get something. Otherwise, this guy's been sitting on the floor for a while, but they end up looking like this. Disgusting. Now, I have no idea if there is anything in here, but zucchini make me itchy, which is why I'm going in backwards. So I'm going in because they're such a beast, and I meant to stake them up, and I have no idea if anything has actually grown in here. Oh, yep. Oh, if you watched our garden tour recently, you know that this bed was planted about 7 weeks ago, and apparently it liked the new soil that I put on. I'm sorry, this microphone is probably picking up all sorts of rustling, but can I see anything else? It's a lot of leaf for one scallop squash. I'll come and check from the other side. I bet you guys can't even see me through the growth. I think a green shirt was the wrong color choice for today. How is there so much zucchini and like no zucchini? Never had that problem before. Now, a place that I know there is zucchini is here, right at the front of the garden, just on the other side of the cucumbers and the yellow peppers. The reason I know that there is zucchini here is because it's so big. It looks like a basketball, and it was so big when I walked past it last night and saw it. And not only is there one, but there's two that I was like, this is why people have chickens, because of zucchini like this. Now, I don't know why I grow the round zucchini the last 2 years, because, I mean, they're very seedy in the middle. I tend to pick them way too late because I'm amused by watching them grow. And the other zucchinis, to be honest, are just as good, if not better. And, you know, these are kind of annoying to use. But like I said, I'm amused by them, and so I continue to grow them. So we're gonna take those two giant melon balls inside when we get done. But if I can actually fit through here, I think we might have some turnips, maybe? Let's pull one. Oh, bit sad. We'll take him, but we'll leave the others to do a bit more growing. While we're pulling underdeveloped turnips, we might as well pull these carrots. So some of them are reasonably well developed, and some of them are smaller than my pinky. Now, you might wonder why I am pulling these carrots if they're not quite done, and the answer is because they're all starting to go to seed. I don't know why my carrots are so angry at me all the time, but they are so annoying. This bed is slightly slower to go to seed, and I think it's because it's not getting torched quite as much. But I'm not going to pull all of the carrots today because some of them still have a good little while to go. Some teeny weenies in there. But I am going to pull some of them because we might as well get some carrots for our efforts. I mean, it took so much work to get these guys to germinate, because every time I planted carrot seeds, we would have about 10 days of ferocious dry winds. So it was almost impossible to keep the soil moist in order for the carrots to actually germinate. So thwarted by carrots, year 2, at least. It's a consistent story. Just here at the front of the garden, we actually have more of the yellow sweet peppers, and these ones are a bit more yellow, and I don't know if that's because they were quite shade protected by a salvia and a huge sunflower that was here that we had to chop down in order to be able to put these Rio panels in. But big, fat and yellow, but not as many as the other two plants that we just saw. But there is one other place where we can pick these yellow sweet peppers. So let's go there now. I am picking some of the peppers because I've got some things I want to cook inside, and might as well harvest them seeing I'm out here. Ew, this squishy one. But I'm not going to harvest them all because obviously some of them could get a bit more yellow. They definitely have like more of a greenish tinge on camera, but I'm trying to pick the most ripe ones, but they can also ripen a little bit further inside. But there's also only so many peppers that one human needs, so I will leave some of these for another day. And there's tons of things like basil that I could pick that we're not going to pick today because, God willing, there is a cool change coming this afternoon or tomorrow, and then I will come out and pick the basil and some of the other herbs and pop them in the freeze dryer, because freeze-dried basil is one of my favorite things in the whole world. But I need to get out of this heat. I've sweat through my clothes, guys. This is disgusting. This is like a whole new level of low. But I mean, this tomato plant had flopped over. It's on a very flimsy tomato cage that I felt bad about throwing out because it wasn't broken. And there's a couple of those. And in the next bed over, you're going to see that it has totally flopped over. Need to get out here and deal with it. Not today. I don't even know how much you can see. There's a scallop squash plant that needs to be, whoops, broken, needs to be suspended. But there is also a beefsteak tomato that has flopped over. So, yeah. But it does look like it has some fist size. Oh no, is that a caterpillar? No, it is. Look at this. A beautiful, beautiful tomato with a caterpillar in it. So I really urgently need to bag up my tomatoes now. There's two things we still need to harvest. That's if we ignore salad greens, which you just need to harvest as they're ready. And I do have some rocket that is ready. But the last two things, the major things we need to harvest today, are these green beans and the corn. The corn looks like it is finally ready. The silks are completely brown, and I don't know if that's because they're ready or if it's because they, like me, have not appreciated this heat and have got charred. But we need to get these beans done ASAP because my mum's been staying with me for a week and she's heading home today, and she's just popped her head out and said she needs to get going because apparently there's an afternoon storm coming, which I'm very excited about because that means there's a cool change coming. But we need to get these harvested as fast as we can so she can get her groceries, relatively organic groceries. I don't say organic because I know that my neighbours spray stuff and I still use fertilizers, so I'm not calling these organic, but they're not sprayed with anything. But we need to get my mum some groceries and get this done quick smart. Considering the berries are already inside, this is a pretty insane harvest. I'm really happy with the way this has turned out, but we're going to quickly grab some corn. I am going to check with my mum first if she can wait another couple of minutes. Maybe I'll strip all the corn. Maybe I will just grab what I can, but we will see. But this has been a totally awesome harvest and really fun to get in the garden and just not tidy anything up, not manage anything, just pull out the produce. It's really, really satisfying to see something come of all that work that we've been doing over the last few months. Just grabbed these 4 ears of corn from the back, so we're going to open one up. As you can see, the silks have completely crusted up, and I don't know if that's because it's properly fertilized, because as I've said in a couple of videos, I put the corn inside an enclosure, but that has meant that it hasn't been able to sway as much in the wind. So each of the silks actually needs to get pollinated from the top of the plant, and I don't know if the plants have been able to move enough to pollinate it. So let's have a look, because maybe the silks have just melted in the heat. We have corn, we have corn, we have corn, we have corn. Let's get all the corn. I was only going to get part of it, but we're getting all the corn, like right now. We're getting all the corn. I'm so excited. I've never got corn before. Corn. I don't even know if you guys can see me, but seeing as the corn results are more promising than I hoped, the ones that have silks on them that aren't quite as cooked, I will leave, and we will come back for them another day. Stretch. Hopefully no spiders in the face. I am so totally stoked with our harvest. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me. I'm about to go inside and surprise my mum with all this corn. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Oh my god, I'm tired and so hot. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, even if the video was 80% me complaining about the weather. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. My brain has officially stopped working because I'm so tired and so thirsty, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.